Welcome everybody and happy Powerful Marketer Talks Friday. My name is Nathan and I am one of your co-hosts. I'm a business owner and a business consultant and delighted to be here to discuss inspiring ideas, to share powerful insights and to bring some positivity into our daily lives. When we talk about marketing, business, sales, leadership, communication, networking, psychology, personal development, those are some of the topics that we love to discuss on our weekly webinars. And why is that? It's because we believe that in order to be a powerful person, in order to be a successful marketer, it is important to be balanced, to be well-rounded and well-grounded. And of course, this journey of growth that we are all on is an ongoing process. But together we can keep each other accountable, we can keep each other motivated, and that's our hope. This is what we want to do every single Friday on our shows, both for ourselves and for you, to keep on track and to keep pushing forward. So thank you so much for choosing to spend some quality time with us on this Friday, or whatever it is when you're watching this recording. And I can promise you this is going to be an exciting webinar. And with that said, I will give the microphone to my colleague, to Laura, for a few words as well.
Thank you, Nathan. You are too kind. Welcome, everybody. My name is Laura, and I am the other co-host. It is a true privilege to be here with you for the 9th consecutive Friday. Can you believe that? 9. Wow. Yeah, time goes by very fast. I am a marketer and I am a business owner from Estonia, currently living in Spain. I am also part of the wonderful Powerful Marketers team. And on behalf of the whole team, I need to say a huge, huge thank you for showing up both for us, but most importantly, for showing up for yourself. We do these shows for you, dear listeners, because we sincerely want to help you and to motivate you to keep pushing towards your dream life and your career goals. So please give us a bit of feedback so we don't have to guess in the dark. Let us know either in the comments below the YouTube video or in the Powerful Marketers community on Facebook what it is that you are struggling with, or what is the topic that you would like to learn more about, so that we can discuss it in our next webinar. And we promise we will do our best to make it happen. And also, if you have not yet done that, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Press the subscribe button now, do it. And with that said, I think it's time to get started, Nathan.
Yeah, maybe we forgot to say to subscribe, so we can.
Yeah.
Today's topic is how to innovate your business in 5 days. And it may sound very ambitious, but we promise, bear with us, it makes a lot of sense. So why is innovation necessary, and why should you do it in 5 days? Well, first of all, the current time and age we're in, with this coronavirus thing going on, has completely shaken the whole world. There are not many businesses that have been left untouched by this pandemic. Most businesses are struggling with forced shutdowns, with these extra required safety measures, with lack of staff, lack of clients, or lack of cash flow. Most often, it is many of these issues at the same time that they are experiencing, and it can easily start to feel like you live in this house of cards where everything's starting to crumble and fall down. So one thing is sure, whether businesses owners want to or not, they are forced to adapt, or they can pack their things and close the businesses.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the case. And being in Spain, which is one of the countries that has been hit the hardest by the coronavirus, I can already see so many businesses that have closed forever. So they are selling their businesses, they are selling their furniture, everything. And the lockdown rules in Spain were rather strict. So for approximately 8 weeks or so, all of the restaurants, all of the stores and so on were closed, forced to close within like 1 day notice in advance. And similarly, with a couple of days notice, the very same restaurants and shops are now allowed to reopen. But of course, the world that we are living in right now has completely changed compared to the ones that we were living in when they were closed. So there are very strict rules about how many people can be in the shop now. There's the required face mask rule in places where you cannot social distance. Restaurants can only serve people outside so that they can ensure the 2-meter distance. So yeah, of course, the business owners who could afford to reopen again, they jumped at the opportunity to do it. But now there are so many questions that need to be resolved ASAP. to ensure that the businesses remain lucrative, and of course that they also follow the regulations that they have to follow according to the government.
That's true. And since we know that many businesses are right now struggling with this need for innovation, we wanted to contribute to inspire a little bit, to show people that innovation does not need to take a lot of years, does not need to take thousands of dollars. You don't need to involve the biggest experts in your industry. And it all starts with a shift in mentality, with a shift in thinking, with focus, with discipline. And that's why we really love this concept of design sprint, which, by the way, is a method created by Google designer Jake Knapp. And it makes any brainstorming and results development process ultrasonic, to go super fast, because it only takes 5 days.
I love the word ultrasonic. It sounds so futuristic.
Awesome.
But yes, I can share that when we started creating the PMP or the Powerful Marketer program, we also went through the design sprint with the Powerful Marketers team. And while it does require time and focus and discipline, the end results were great because we now have the program. It's live. You can check it out on marketersprogram.com. But I understand people who are thinking right now that, wow, I don't have such a luxury of time to take 5 days out of my super busy work week. There are so many little things that need to be taken care of, so many fires that need to be put out, and it can feel like it's a lot. But the question you should really ask yourself is, would you rather spend the following weeks and months and years putting out these fires, only to realize that in the meantime, the customer's expectations or the market or the industry has completely changed? Or you'd rather take this time now and invest it into preparing for the future so that you can be the game changer?
That's very powerful. And if you don't know where your company needs to be or how it needs to be positioned in the marketplace, then just keep on doing random things. And that makes you shift directions all the time. It's exhausting and very expensive because you make many mistakes along the way. And if you're unable to keep that steady focus, it will continue to happen until you master it. So my advice is, sit down, open your calendar, see if you can book or schedule things, rearrange things in a way you can take these 5 days to truly transform your business. And I can guarantee you that if you really want to, and if you're really determined, it is possible to achieve this.
Anything is possible, of course. I like the phrase that says, anything, nothing is impossible. Even the word impossible says, I am possible. But right. All jokes aside, yeah, ultimately it is your life, it is your choice, it is your responsibility. And the things that may seem very urgent today may not even matter in a few weeks or months or years. So if you are ready to truly innovate your business in 5 days, then I believe the design sprint method is the perfect way for you to get started. So what do you need for the design sprint, Nathan?
Well, besides your time to book that in the calendar, you also need to involve key members of your team. So ideally, a design sprint requires the following roles. You need a decision maker, the company leader, someone with in-depth knowledge about the problem you're solving, usually the person that owns the company or has the money to do it. Then the financial expert, someone who fully understands the costs, all the tax implications, financial implications of the company. Then the marketing expert, if you are that marketer, probably that's going to be you. Someone who knows how to market the product, how to make that solution will reach the hands of the customer. Then you need the client expert, somebody that is very familiar with the client's challenges, what is going through the customer's mind. The logistics expert, a person who understands how to carry out all the different steps necessary for the product or solution to be successful and reach the client. The problems creator, that's the easiest job, because it's to point out anything that is wrong about the solution, to be the devil's advocate. Anybody that can challenge viewpoints, that can bring an antagonistic vision to the team. And by the way, that's very crucial. It's very interesting to have that. And then the facilitator. That would be like the project manager, the person who will keep the process running on time and will make agile decisions. And this, by the way, could be you in there if you want to facilitate that process.
Yeah, so that's 7 different people. what if it's not possible to involve that many people, Nathan? Maybe your team only consists of a couple of people, or you are the whole team. Can you still do the design sprint?
It is possible, yeah. You just need to change the roles. So one person might have to be more than one role. You might need to be the marketing expert and the client expert at the same time. But there definitely needs to be a decision maker. You need to have a facilitator, and then ideally some experts on different areas. As for the role of the problems creator, we're experts, all of us, I would say. We all could play that role simultaneously in one of these sessions. So when we think of the example of a restaurant in Spain, for example, the decision maker very likely would be the business owner, the CEO. The facilitator could be the general manager or the assistant manager. The marketing position, if you are the marketer of a restaurant, you could be that person, if there is one. The client expert, it could be the maitre, it could be the head of service or the host or hostess. And who can be the logistic expert? It could be the kitchen manager, for example. Who can be the financial expert? Maybe the CEO, because they understand what is the cost of everything and how much money they can allocate for different things. So it really depends on the people you have in the team, but most likely you'll find that key members who are experts in the areas that we discuss are going to be the best roles. And if you are a tiny company, even if you are self-employed and you're on your own, if you have external collaborators, you can invite them to help you in this design sprint dynamic.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I really love the example that you gave with the restaurants. But okay, once I have determined the necessary people and let's say that they are available to me, I can involve them. I have cleared both my own calendar for the design sprint, and I have also cleared the team members' calendar for the upcoming week. What else do I need to do?
Let people know the roles in the design sprint so they are familiar with it, and then choose a place, an environment where if working is going to be easy, when it's going to be efficient, not too much noise, not too many distractions from the regular work. So I would say don't do it in the office if you can help it, because otherwise they're going to be bothered with calls. And they need all this, although the creativity they can master during this 5-day period. Also, because they are like 7 to 8 hour sessions, you need to arrange for the lunch in between. Anything that could distract them. If they're hungry, if their glucose levels go down, they're not going to be as productive. So arrange for snacks, for lunch to be provided, coffee, any stationery items that they're going to need, like paper, pens, markers, post-its, etc. Have it prepared so people don't need to leave the session during that design sprint during the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when we did it for PMP, we actually used a restaurant which had a private room on the second floor. So greetings to restaurant Alea in Malaga. And the setting that they provided for us was ideal because nobody disturbed us. It was a different environment from our usual work setting. And of course, the biggest bonus, the lunch and snacks were close. And there was a whiteboard as well, and then plenty of room on the walls to visualize our ideas. And of course, our phones and laptops were safely put away. And once we entered the room, it was a complete concentration zone. And that's how you get things done. You just need to concentrate and find the time and the discipline to do it. But Nathan, can you describe what happens on the very first day of the design sprint?
Absolutely. Ideally, the first thing that you do Monday morning, and you need to have pre-scheduled calls with the customers to introduce to them the prototype or the idea or the innovation that you're going to bring about. So I would say before Monday, make sure that those calls with customers are booked, because that is going to help you to make the best of the design sprint. What's the best way to approach clients? Well, I would say try to ensure that they belong to your potential customer or target group, so the feedback becomes relevant for you. Tell them that you just want to present an idea for just quick feedback, that you're not going to sell them anything. Tell them how much you value their feedback, how much you value their opinion, because they are going to love the idea of helping you and they will want to help you. It doesn't need to be a long list of clients, but make sure that you get at least 5 by Friday, and they have to be booked. So don't surprise them. Tell them well in advance so they can book that call. So on Monday morning itself, the first step is to ask your team what the main challenge is. And most likely you will find out that many of the issues that they think are wrong in the company, or the challenges that they think that we have to tackle, you will map them, you will identify how many of those you have, but then you will focus them on the biggest priority in the company. So make sure that you take into account all the necessary resources, all the external factors that may occur in resolving this challenge. And then everybody should agree what is the priority challenge and what we are trying to solve during the sprint. And by the way, sometimes the decision maker might need to say, okay, this is what I think we need to focus on, because otherwise you can have as many ideas as people in the room. So the next step is to picture the ideal situation. What do we want to achieve? What is the goal for this design sprint? And then we build the path backwards towards where we are at the minute. So map out the potential pitfalls, what can go wrong, what are the problems that may occur, and then find out what can be causing them.
So if I follow your restaurant example, I could say that the challenge may be that due to the restrictions by the government, we can only operate on 30% of our capacity. And the goal may be to find a way to maximize that 30% by increasing the revenue, let's say by 100%. Wow, that's a lot of percents. But yeah, so we can only have 30% of clients that we had before. But what we want, what is our ideal goal, is for those 30% of clients to bring in the same revenue that usually maybe 60% of clients would bring in. Something like that, right?
That's a great example. Absolutely a great example. Or maybe the challenge is that you don't have the necessary safety measures in place. And the end goal is to be the chosen restaurant, the preferred option for a trusted restaurant in your area, for customers to always want to keep on coming. Whatever it is the goal, whatever is the challenge, make sure that it's as simple and as clear as it can get. So by the end or by the second day or Tuesday, you can already start to define the possible solutions. And that's the focus on day 2. Each member of this design sprint session can write down on a separate paper, on a post-it, for example, what they believe could be the possible solutions to that design sprint focus. What do we do? If you are facilitating, you will collect all the ideas, you will put them on a wall on a whiteboard, or you make them put them on a whiteboard on this wall in their room. Then you can give about 3 minutes to each member to present their ideas, to explain. And after they present those ideas, you should be able to collect or to choose, to help them choose the 3 best solutions, the 3 most innovative, doable, cost-effective ideas. Once that's settled, then participants can start to create sketches about those 3 ideas, those 3 potential solutions. How would they look on those sketches? They can put it on the wall again. By the end of Tuesday, you should be able to have 3 possible innovative ideas, 3 possible paths you could take to achieve that goal that was the objective on Monday.
So in the restaurant example, it could mean coming up with ideas like an online menu to ensure that customers don't spread germs by touching the restaurant paper menus, or maybe creating a takeaway service, or adding an entertainment element so that the customers would choose to come to you, and they would also invite their friends, and maybe they will stay for longer periods of time, and they will order more food and more drinks, anything like that. I mean, these are just some of the ideas I can imagine right now without ever having worked a day in a restaurant, but I hope I'm not too far off.
You're spot on. You're bang on the money there. Those could be very possible solutions if you were in that industry. And then once you have those solutions on the 3rd day, the team needs to decide what is exactly the path that we're going to choose from. The one that we're going to go for because it's the most effective, innovative idea, and it can really yield results. And participants can vote for the idea they believe adds the most value. We can do that in many different ways. One way, a very effective way, use sticky notes or colorful stickers. So people, if you have a team, imagine I've done design sprints with 20, 50 people, and that means it gets very noisy in the room and people get like really worked up. So do it in silence. Ask people, okay, go in silence with these sticky dots and choose the idea that you think is the most doable and you prefer, and then put those sticky dots. And that will create like a heat map of what is the preferred solution in there, and it'll be very clear what idea earns the most points. So in case of a draw, then the decision maker comes into place. That person will break the draw because it's the one that will put the money, and probably they know what is more doable in the company. After that winner idea is chosen, then the team needs to draw a prototype on a whiteboard. Okay, this is the idea that we chose. How would it look if we wanted to pitch for that idea in front of a customer? And the concept here is to draw this prototype as if it was a movie or a comic book, where the protagonist is the customer or the user of that solution. And each step that is mapped should illustrate how they are going to interact with the solution. So don't waste any time focusing on tiny details, focus on the big challenges. The whole idea is that everybody involved can understand very quickly how that solution would work.
Mm-hmm. And I can imagine that many people are thinking right now that the prototype is something super fancy that you need to somehow build. But the prototype could be just a drawing of the new and improved seating arrangement, or maybe a slideshow presentation with the functionalities of the new online menu, or maybe even like a Pinterest board with images that give the right vibe, so that everybody who's looking at it can understand what's the end result. Because there are really no limitations on creativity, right?
Absolutely. Whatever works for you, but keep in mind that the prototype should be something that ultimately both you as the solution creator and your customers, you need to understand it very quickly, because you will have to test that idea and pitch for that idea on Friday. And then the good news is that on Thursday, it's all about building and improving that prototype. So you will have every member of the design sprint, every participant, and remember, they don't need to focus on making it perfect, because excessive detailing is tiring and it slows down the process and it leaves the whole team frustrated. So don't focus on that. Let them know that it has to be realistic enough so that the customers get it, they understand the solution, and make sure that you use real text, how it would really look without being too detailed. Find the right images, but maybe not the final ones, because that can be improved. The right designs or the right vibe for the designs, but they don't need to be actual the ones you're going to use at the end. And there are many fancy prototyping softwares you can use, but make sure that if you choose one of these softwares like Canva or whatever you use, don't use something you don't know how to use, because then you will waste a lot of time learning functionalities. That's not the idea. Do whatever you can. Draw on paper, print something, glue pieces together, use sellotape, whatever you want. But make it physical or online, but something that the customer will absolutely get straight away.
Yeah, for example, we at PMP used a PowerPoint presentation. And in the PowerPoint presentation, we described the target audience on the one slide, the technical build of the program on the other slide, and then we had planned 5 modules for the program, and we dedicated for each module one slide where we had written out what is the content, what are the action items, and so on. And we also included some screenshots of what the design of the program would be, or at least what was our vision back then. And then on day 5, on Friday, we started testing this prototype by calling the potential clients and showing them each slide and describing the product as if it already existed.
That's right. That's the best way to do it. Friday is the time when you interview your 5 clients to see the reactions, to hear the feedback. And they are 5 people that will expose very likely 80% or more of the problems that your solution could have. So you don't need to have hundreds or dozens of interviewees to get the necessary qualitative feedback that you want. You just need those 5 customers that represent your target market. You ask them for honesty to show, and you have to be open for criticism. Don't emphasize that you created the prototype, because then they might feel, I don't want to hurt your feelings or something. I don't want to offend you. What you really need is them to be very open and very honest. And also, if you are the one asking the questions for the clients, have somebody else to take the notes. because then they're going to be able to register as much valuable feedback as you can. What are the clients bringing out, both positive and negative? And then put it on the whiteboard for everybody to see, and make sure that you get the most out of those comments. How can you do that? How can you conduct that interview? What things could you ask? Maybe questions like, how did you understand the concept? What do you think happens if you click here? And wait for them, because they will actually let you know what feels more natural for them. How would you assess this feature on a scale from 0 to 10? 0 is horrible idea. 10, best idea ever. Was it clear enough? Would you like to see something better explained? Or can you relate to the solution that we bring? Price point. How much would you pay for a solution like this? Would you actually buy something like this? And once the interviews are completed, then just analyze the results with a cold mind, evaluate whether the prototype is really promising and it deserves to be developed or not. And if the answer is not, that's also okay. Don't feel that you wasted 5 days. You have invested 5 years, and that will save you a lot of pain and money if you would have gone for that idea without testing it. However, if the feedback is positive, you earn the money there, because it shows that you're on the right track to develop and that is worth pursuing.
Absolutely. And the wonderful thing about the interviews is that clients can also give a lot of great ideas for improvements, which you may not have come up with on your own, because you're also in this kind of a tunnel vision when you think about your business. So when we talk about the method of design sprint, then I believe it's truly amazing, because you just start with knowing what your challenge is and maybe also what your ideal goal is. And you end up with not just having built that prototype, but you have already tested your prototype. So that's a huge win. You have saved so much time and you have saved so much money to actually have already tested something. And that's the point. The whole process is very fast, very inexpensive. And during these confusing times that we are in, speed and flexibility is exactly what we need to adapt.
I agree with you so much, because I think that we tend to overcomplicate things sometimes for ourselves. And when we overcomplicate them, we are more likely to procrastinate, to okay, this is too much, maybe in the future, maybe tomorrow, maybe next year. So we tell our brains that we don't have the time to do something. And maybe it's because we don't know how we should change it, we should do it. And instead of carrying on doing the same things we have always done in a world that is no longer the same, we would need to innovate. And the problem is that innovation, if we complicate it, is not going to happen, but it doesn't need to be complex. Some of the most powerful innovations that have completely transformed our lives have been very easy. Post-its, paper clips. They were both born out of necessity because somebody needed them. And it just happened because they were very useful straight from the beginning. So approach design sprint as a way for you to pinpoint those opportunities, to simplify, to improve. And it is not just another thing, another chore, another thing to add to your workload. It's something exciting. It's a process that may end up with a new innovative idea or not. But one thing is sure, during the process, your eyes are going to be wide open to new opportunities from your very team, from people in your team that is going to bring together the team, and you will get out of this tunnel vision, problem-oriented, and it will help you to get out of the current situation and think of solutions.
Yes, and I truly believe that it is nearly impossible to come up with new inspiring ideas while you feel like you're collapsing under the burden of never-ending tasks and putting out those fires all the time. You need to take the time to brainstorm. You need to shake things up. You need to change your environment, open up your mind, see the possibilities around you, because wherever you put your focus, that is what you will get in return. And I personally really love this powerful quote by Steve Jobs. And it goes like this: people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones that do.
I love it. We needed that quote. We were missing some of those quotes. So
I mean, the quote master.
Exactly. And this is what we also believe at PMP. Your life, your happiness, your bold ideas and creative innovation ideas, they're all in your hands already. You have the power to unleash those ideas and to lead your life. With the right tools, with the right knowledge, it becomes so much easier. And I could tell you many stories about this, but as I became an entrepreneur, I didn't have a process to squeeze that value out of my team. And it was kind of difficult. Getting great ideas was painful sometimes and noisy. It was a very slow process. It was kind of messy. People got a bit frustrated. Hey, you haven't listened to my idea. And when I discovered this structure that we have shared with you, that is very powerful, and that we have included in PMP, it really changed the way I got that feedback. And because it was a fast process, it really made me save tons of money and tons of time that was wasted otherwise in pursuing ideas that were, in the end, not really effective. Now we coach companies on how to conduct design sprint. By the way, you may want a facilitator from the Powerful Marketer Talks for your company. Why not exploring that idea, that principle, and go to PMP and learn how you can improve this process? By the way, secret, you don't need 5 days. There is a way to do it in 4 days instead of 5.
Wow.
If you're really focused and committed to do it, we can teach you through PMP how to make it happen.
Wow, that's a time saver for sure. And I also wanted to add on your story that what I love about PMP is that the processes, such as the design sprint that we have included in PMP, are very easy to follow and very easy to do. And you don't need to have years of experience or like tons of knowledge. You can actually empower yourself because there's so much already inside of you, all of those crazy ideas, all of those innovations. You just need to have the courage and the confidence to bring them out. And that's what I was also lacking when I started my career. I went to the big fancy people who had been working for decades in the same industry, and I felt like they had all of the experience of the world. They had all of the knowledge. And who was I? I didn't know anything back then. So whenever I felt like I had a great idea, I kind of suppressed it because I thought that I needed to be somebody else to be taken seriously. But the truth is, I didn't need to be somebody else. I just needed to empower myself. I needed to work on my mindset, to build up this confidence, this courage, and also some of the fundamental knowledges, because that's what we need to be great professionals. And that's exactly the process which we use in the Powerful Marketer program. It all starts with yourself, with your mindset. Then it goes on to learning the fundamentals which you need in marketing, in business, in life, and so on. Then we go on to your professional knowledge and skills, such as strategy, channels, content creation, and so on. And of course, communication, because we all need to communicate our ideas to other people to make it happen. And last but not least, we have leadership, because whether you like it or not, you are always a leader of something. At least you are the leader of your own life. And why not be an inspiring leader, both for your own life and for your own ideas, but also to others around you? Because life can be so much better and so much happier if we are there to support each other and help each other grow. So those are the 5 key areas that we have in the Powerful Marketer program. We have a separate module for all of those areas. And in total, there's 893 minutes of audiovisual learning material. So that's approximately 15 hours. And to make your change long-lasting, we have also included 55 action items, so that whatever you learn through the program, you can implement that straight into your life and work. And this way you can achieve more, you can reach higher, and you can truly become a powerful marketer. So if you are interested in that, if you are ready for that, please go check out marketersprogram.com.
Please do that as soon as you can. And by the way, if you are kind of hesitating what this PMP program looks like, you can see the style of this material inside our free resources section. You can find that under marketersprogram.com. So please check it out. And then you have also a free 7-video series called Secrets of Powerful Marketers. Go and check it out. It will give you a great taste of what this amazing program looks like. If that wasn't enough, we also have an extensive 18-page PDF. That's a complete guide on different levels on growth and marketers, so you can test yourself. You can examine where you're right now in your growth journey, where do you want to go, how can you get there. So check this out and give yourself the opportunity to be truly inspired.
Please do that, because you are the writer of your life. Don't settle for mediocrity or unhappiness. Think what it is that you really want from life. What is success to you? How can you make it happen? Choose to be the champion rather than the victim of your life. And trust me, wonderful opportunities will start to come to your life. You just need to believe that what you want from life is possible. And also, you need to be willing to put in the work, to do what is necessary to actually make it happen. And everything beyond that is up to you and up to your imagination.
Absolutely. You can unleash the powerful marketer you have inside of you. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Another exciting week, another exciting webinar. We wish you a wonderful weekend, a lot of inspiration and happiness. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel to be up to date with all the latest videos, all the upcoming videos as well, to see the previous recording of our webinars, and stay powerful and inspired.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.